Germany votes this weekend to decide its new government, and at the moment the polls suggest that Chancellor Angela Merkel may win a third term in office.
As the UK's largest trading partner, the result in Germany will have big consequences over here. Dom, tell us more.
Yes.
It's really important, isn't it?
It is, and there's a country that works hard, definitely. Certainly it's 40-hour weeks. One of the main things Germans will be voting on is their economy, and recent years have seen it perform more strongly than almost anywhere else in Europe, with lower unemployment, lower inflation and higher growth than the UK. And we seemingly can't get enough of things like German cars, German machinery and German beer. Let's have a look at some of the figures. Last year we spent almost £52 billion buying German products, more than any other country in Europe, and making Germany the UK's largest trading partner by far. And that figure's increased steadily over the last decade. Back in 2003, we spent £33 billion, and by now we buy twice as much from Germany as we do from the French. That's an interesting statistic, isn't it? It's so important to us. With me now is Nina Schick from the pro-European think tank Open Europe. Nina, welcome.
Thank you.
Very quickly, how has Germany done so well over the last 10 years or so? What's been its secret of its success?
Well, the secret of its economic success actually is the Agenda 2000 labour market reforms, which was actually set in place by Angela Merkel's predecessor.
So that means they didn't pay themselves an awful lot for 10 years, did they? And they invested the money instead into things like equipment and machinery and factories and stuff.
Exactly.
Okay. Angela Merkel's the current Chancellor. It looks likely she'll get re-elected. Is that right? She's centre-right. Is that correct?
It's very unlikely that we'll see any new Chancellor apart from Angela Merkel. But the interesting thing from the UK perspective is in Germany it's all about coalition politics. So the interesting question is, who will Angela Merkel's party go into coalition with?
Yeah.
Now, what we could see happening is the centre-left SPD going into coalition with Angela Merkel. This has important implications for the UK. Why? Because the SPD is more prone to look to Paris rather than London, and also because they're massive on financial regulation.
Yeah, because David Cameron would see as Merkel as an important ally in things like getting concessions from Brussels, you know, for a greater save for Britain on EU policies. Would a centre-left part of the coalition affect that to a certain extent?
It would affect it to a certain extent. However, it would just mean that there'd be more negotiation. The important thing to remember is that Chancellor Merkel would still be the key player. And she and David Cameron see eye to eye on a lot of things. For example, David Cameron's vision for a reformed, better EU, one that's based on free trade, less regulation, but better regulation, and more competitiveness, is one that Angela Merkel really believes in herself.
So you think that David Cameron and the coalition government here in the UK will be wanting Angela Merkel to win again on Sunday?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. That would be the best outcome from the UK perspective.
OK, thank you very much, Nina Schick, from the pro-European think tank Open Europe. Now, I know you're a bit of a technophobe, Charlie, so this gadget is probably right up your street.